let's chat about captain's options this week. There are a few.
Are you ready, kids?
Aye, Captain!
Now, for anybody who missed the start of the show, we talked a little bit about Pappenhausen against the Broncos being a half-decent VC loop option in the first game of the round. How do you, Mattrix, feel about taking a VC on a Thursday night? Or is it just the straight captain on a Thursday night is a no-go? Or are you looking at Thursday night as a bit of a wasteland in terms of captaincy in general?
I mean, yeah, look, I hate the straight C on a Thursday, but I don't mind the VC. I just think if that's the better matchup and it allows you to captain earlier on in the round, then by all means go for it. Don't be scared just because it says Thursday there. I'm still not 100% convinced Pappy against the Broncos is the best matchup.
Also, not a captain's thing, but just talking on looping. If you own Cleary and Hines, you're not trying to either them out, start Nico because he locks out last. So Cleary will lock out on Saturday at 5:30, but if you start Hines, your flexibility for captaincy is wide open, especially with looping. So start Hines over Cleary this week just for tactical reasons. Yeah, I mean, I still like Pappy. I think, as I said, without the goal kicking, it's a little bit different. But if I pull up my little do-wacky, I can relive the pain because I remember it was round 1, I want to say, of 2022, and it was a Thursday game, early kickoff, and I think a lot of people jumped on him. No, it might have been 2021. Might have been COVID year because he scored 70 in round 1. I just look back at that game. I have fond memories of it. I'm talking out of my ass. Obviously, I can't find this game, but scored a lot against the Broncos. I think Scott Drinkwater showed enough in a very poor Cowboys side in a very wet game that there is points to be had. They get Munster back. They are just missing Nass. That's the only person now that they're missing. I think could be a great score. What would you take as a free loop? I think that's the better question. I'd take like 90.
Yeah, absolutely. My captaincy options have been in the bin this year so far.
Especially for a free loop. Like you and I resigned to getting an AA anyway. So we're taking a free loop. I'd be taking 80, 90. Obviously Tedesco, Dom Young, both these guys are huge this week against the Dogs. If I do go Crichton, might just stick the VC on Crichton just because if he gets a try, there's 90 points and I'll just take that to the bank. So anyone else in this Roosters game you're looking at?
Vibes.
Are you a bit of a Luke Keary enthusiast?
I am absolutely not. So I won't be going there. I'm a Dom Young owner though, and I'm very tempted to just chuck the VC on Dom Young and just hope he scores a hat-trick against the Bulldogs because there is every chance he could.
Could do.
So, and again, this is why we bought Dom Young is for this matchup and the next one. So I don't mind it. I think going back to your Pappenhausen against the Broncos, are you looking at round 4 in 2021 where he scored 197?
Might have been round 4. I knew it was early in the season. He scored about 150 yards by halftime.
Yeah,
Have you seen
it was
Broncos
124 against South in round 1.
2021 though? Have a look at the Broncos team from 2021.
Yeah, but it's Melbourne.
Oh, we're not. No, this isn't Broncos slander, mate. You don't have to take everything personally. We're talking about how good Pappenhausen is.
In a week of free looping, Ian Johnson asks, is Terrell May a VC? Now, normally we'd say no because you want your VC to have some kind of upside to take the loop. But if you resign to an AE and Terrell May come, I don't know. I just don't see Terrell May going huge. Like I think last week was like the best that we're going to see of Terrell May, and that's like topping out at a 75-80.
I agree.
Yeah, I agree. I think
just want to point out that wasn't me that ever spoke over them that time. So you YouTube comments can shut up because that was those two that fucked up then, not me.
Hey mate, I'd do it as much as you do. Ponga versus the Dragons, another VC loop option, or even a C if you've got the Pappenhausen VC on. I kind of like Ponga against the Dragons. I know the Dragons have been okay this year. But if you're a KP, and you mentioned it earlier, Matty, if you're a KP owner, it's kind of immoral, isn't it, to just put the VC on him and hope he goes massive against the Dragons?
Mate, like the Dragons getting pumped by the who was it? The Dolphins just rings in my ears, and just thinking, the Knights could absolutely rip them to shreds. I know the Dragons have been better. I know the Dragons have had some really good games. I know they beat a poor Manly last week, but they have these lapses, and I just would not be flabbergasted if Ponga scored 180 versus them.
Ponga has a 90 average over his career against the Dragons in 6 matches. I'm trying to find out. So he's versed the Dolphins once and got 121. So that's we can't really count that. He averages 98 against the Raiders in 7 matches, and he averages. That's it. So 98 is his best average if we discount the Dolphins 1 match that he's played, and then his
using a good
average against the Dragons.
If you own Ponga, you have to captain him. Sorry, I spoke over you.
I think so. I
feel so. Let's move on to captains then. Latrell versus the Warriors. We kind of touched on this a little bit earlier, but Warriors obviously concede a lot of points to the fullbacks this year. Will Kennedy at 23 because Will Kennedy is I don't want to slander him too much. He's not very good. Then you've got 132 Pappenhausen in round 2. You've got 93 Joey Rapana in round 3, played fullback, and then 117 in round 4 against Kalen Ponga. The Warriors are just leaking points to fullbacks. So if you missed the start of the show where we talked about this for about 37 minutes, you're probably going to be keen on Latrell Mitchell this week. And I'm kind of tempted, as much as he's been a little bit lackluster from what we would expect from Trell. You're never going to get that really high involvement from Latrell Mitchell. You're not going to get the guy that does fucking 22 runs and RTS type fucking 280 meters in a game. That's not Latrell. But he is going to inject himself into a game when he decides to. And whenever he does, he's usually going to find some attacking points. And with the Warriors' tendency to leak points to fullbacks, I kind of like that matchup this week, even as a VC, depending on what your plans are later in the week. If you've got a Val Holmes against the Titans, who we'll talk about soon, that could be a play. You're a Latrell owner. Is there any temptation for you to chuck a VC on him?
Yeah, VC.
I'm a Latrell owner for now. Like, I'm still very up in the air on what I want to do, but like I'm just looking at myself personally. Like, I've got no options after Trell, unless it's like Sevo captaincy or Zach Labert, and it's just like that's not happening. So for me, it'll probably be a captaincy on Trell if I do opt to go there. 3 o'clock, good time, fast track at a claw, definitely on the cards. Warriors have shown propensity to leak points this year. As much as they've been good, they have given up points. They gave up a lot to Pappenhausen. They gave up a lot to Drinkwater. I think I wasn't really listening before. But they have definitely given up points to fullback. It's just that, like, I worry about this forward pack, and people are like very quick to criticize. I'm a huge Troll stan. People that follow me on Twitter know that. I'll go into bat for the bloke every chance I can get. I don't think this is a Trell form slump. I think it's just the Warrior, the what are they called? The Bunnies pack just getting monstered. And it's like Tavita Tola versus Adam Finau-Blake. Sick. Tom Burgess versus Mitchell Barnett. Also not great. And then Tohu Harris versus Cam Murray is kind of neutral. So it's just like you've got 2 big forwards. And then off the bench, it's like Michael Cheekham and Sean Kepi and Dave Mawali. Doesn't really strike huge fear into the eyes. So I worry that the platform's not going to get set. They had a lot of ball against the Bulldogs and couldn't execute. I don't know. I'll let everyone know, because I'll trade Trell out. He'll score 143. So yeah. Nice.
Ian Johnson mentioned there's a bit of rain around Saturday too, which is relevant, I guess. We looked at Val Holmes and the Cowboys matchup, and we thought that was going to be a beauty last week, and it obviously was a bit of a bludger. Even though there were points scored in it, there were a lot of errors, and obviously there wasn't many Supercoach relevant scores from that game. So definitely something to consider. Some good little inside, or not inside knowledge, but good BOM knowledge, I should say. What about Hammer versus the Tigers, Matty? Because you're the owner of Hammer. Any love for him? Because 79, 94, 112 in his 3 games this season, he's continued to prove us wrong every week.
Look, I'm not going there, but I wouldn't hate it if I do. With blokes like Hammer, I just have a look at how he's a little like Trell, how he doesn't always insert himself in the game. And I just get super scared of a 30 and it derailing. Like, if you're a head-to-head player, 100% Hammer or Trell this week. But I'm a lot more comfortable vice-captaining one of these blokes, and Hammer's playing too late in the round for me to vice-captain, so I'm staying away from Hammer this week. In saying that, with those 3 stats, playing against the Tigers, who have been better this year. But, yeah, look, I wouldn't blame you if you did. I just think it's a vice-captain option.
What about Val Holmes then? Because Val Holmes or Drinkwater, potentially, both of them. It depends on who you own, but I'll tell you what, if you're a Val Holmes owner or if you're someone that has a bit of cash to spend in the center wing, you would be remiss looking over Val Holmes, I think, because I won't lie, I've looked at how I can get him into my team to attack this Titans matchup, and I kind of love it. I think it might even be the best captain option this week. What do you reckon, Josh?
Yeah. Trap game though, is it potentially?
No.
They're paying $1.13 against the Titans.
Yeah, but how much? If I said to you last week, what's turbo over and unders line, and I told you it was 55.5, you were remortgaging your house and taking the overs on that.
Yeah, 100%.
I think he's the best. I think if you have KP and Hammy, so if you have KP and Val, like it's just the easiest decision to VCC KP into Valentine. Like it just is. And I'm terrified as a non-owner. Like I'm absolutely petrified of this game because he could go absolutely ballistic. But what I hope is that Des Hasler just thinks that there's only one player on the team and Zach Labart has a field day.
Fucking Labart. This guy's got more mentions in this podcast than fucking prime Andrew Johns.
It's his last leg. He's got like a 90 break even. And the only reason the prick hasn't been punted is because of this game.
At Zach Labart's mum's dinner table, they're talking about Val Holmes more than Zach Labart, but you keep bringing up Zach Labart. Fuck, I know how you feel about Luke Metcalf, except Luke Metcalf was fucking good at the sport.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say this is my Luke Metcalf. At least he's performed for you. No, look, I think Val is the best captaincy this game. I think he could just run rings. And now that I've said that, he will score probably 31. So I'm very sorry for owners.
Yeah, so anybody who's on Drinky, that might be the option.